Hello, my name is Cole. When I was asked if I wanted to talk about my experience with abortion, the first thing that came to mind was wanting to tell people that your feelings are valid, no matter what other people say. Your pain is real. I know everybody's story is different. For me, there's been a lot of bitterness and resentment to overcome. I didn't want the abortion at all. I was married at the time, but we were young. I called my mom, still thinking about what I was going to do to provide for the baby, and the first thing she said was that we should have an abortion. My wife's parents said the same thing. Pretty soon, my wife decided they were right. She wanted to finish her college degree. It was 4 against 1. Even though I never supported the decision, I offered to go to the clinic with her, but she decided to go alone. I will never forget the phone call right after the abortion. It was the worst call I've ever received, and it still haunts me. She was screaming and crying, saying she wanted her baby back. When we saw each other in person, it was like we were strangers to each other. Every conversation about it only made it worse. Just a few weeks after the abortion, it was Father's Day, and it hit me so hard. I felt like a failure. I had failed to protect my first child. It really dragged me down to a pretty dark place in my mind. That first year after the abortion, I started having a hard time being around kids, especially babies. Seeing people's ultrasound photos always reminded me of my wife describing our baby wiggling around when she had the scan and how much I didn't want her to go through with the abortion. At home, and with my in-laws and even my own mother, I was told over and over again that my feelings didn't matter, that abortion impacts the woman, but not the man. It didn't take long for me to learn to shut up about what I was going through and how I was struggling. I tried so hard to suppress my feelings and get along with these people, but they were the same people who caused me so much pain. I really don't have the words to describe how alone I felt. It was just a terrible place to be, with the hurts from the abortion, having the pain disregarded by your spouse. Over time, my bitterness and resentment grew. We wound up getting divorced. But my story doesn't end there. After the abortion, I had collapsed to my knees, begging God for forgiveness, just saying, I'm sorry, over and over again. But all I felt was condemnation. In the months after, I felt lost and without hope. It took several years before I realized that's exactly who Jesus seeks out. The Bible says he has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to comfort those who mourn. I came to accept that I was loved and forgiven by God, but I was still carrying the pain alone. Years later, when I sought help for a different issue, I came to realize that the abortion was probably a wound that fueled some damaging behaviors. It wasn't until I met a guy from Support After Abortion that I began to share and process the pain. He was the first person outside of family that I talked to about the abortion. He was the first person who actually listened to and cared about what I thought and what I was feeling. For the first time, I confronted those memories from years past to address them and bring closure. He helped set the path for my healing. Take it from me, getting help is crucial to your healing. I know it's hard to seek help because of the shame and the pain you may feel. And our culture is one where it's difficult for men to talk about these things. Plus, we process things differently than women do. On top of that, you can't just talk to anyone about it because it's so likely to turn into an argument about politics instead of a conversation about your emotions and recovery. But it's not easy carrying that burden by yourself. Time doesn't heal this wound. Instead, the pain grows and it can lead to even worse things. I'm hoping and praying that if you have found this video and watched it through to the end, that you decide to reach out and ask for help. There is hope and healing waiting for you.